Today I want to talk about the Frank Fischer battle, but not so much about the battle itself, but the the battle family. And that kind of leads into family and friends in general. So as I've gotten into the knife hobby, I have met a lot of people. A little saying is, I came for the knives, but I stayed for the people. And that can be said for a lot of different hobbies. Off-roading, I'm big into off-roading, have been since like 2003, I think. So like 20 years. And I've been off-road racing and still do a Bronco event in Utah every year and things like that. And it's really about the people, because I've gone kind of from the Jeep world to the Bronco world to the racing world and all in between. And it's all just about friends. And some of those friends I really call family. Similarly, in the knife community. So this is a battle that a friend of mine bought, Anthony, and got it from a guy, Kyle, who sent it to me so that I could film it. And I thought it'd be a good time to do kind of a family collection of what I own, plus this one that's the brother, the sibling of my family collection. And it gives me a chance to talk about the knife community and the family that I have kind of built by having this channel. So the very first battle that I got, and these are not all going to be in order, but this one is the first one with the drip on the blade, which is the most outstanding feature, I think, or iconic feature of this particular one. And just in the Fischer collection, I have made some really good friends. I think there's 5 or 6 people now that I'm really kind of close with because of this model knife, which is kind of amazing to me. So I got George, who I bought this from originally. The battle was my grail knife. I never thought I would have something this fancy. I thought I would end up with something along this line. But once you get one battle, you kind of end up getting more than one. Now, I missed out on this one on purpose. I originally reached out to Kyle, who was selling it and was working a deal, but then Anthony wanted it, and I said, sure. I didn't want to spend the money. It was a good deal. But now that I have it in my hand, I probably should have kept it, or I should have bought it instead of Anthony. It's super snappy. It is a little bit smaller. It's slightly smaller than my other carbon fiber one. It has hidden hardware, which is kind of nice. Little bit different pocket clip. This is an older school one, kind of an early 2014 or 15 model, which is what this one is as well, that I also got from Anthony. Again, you're seeing that friendship, family motif in there. So these are about the same size, same pocket clip, a little more plain, little fancy with the carbon fiber and the satin blade. This one was going to be just a solid user for me, but there's a little bit of lock slip. So I really don't carry this one much. And I don't know that I want to send it in to maybe Senior or TJ to have that adjusted, because I just don't really care. It's more of a historical piece because it's an early one. Okay, so this one I got from a friend up in Canada. So because I become a Frank Fischer and a Fischer family collector, I get people just out of the blue saying, hey, I've got this battle that I'm thinking of selling. Do you want it? That's how I met Tim. And Tim and I talk all the time now. And it's super great. He's lent me knives before. I've sold some knives for him, things like that. Eric, my friend in Utah, who I knew before the battle, I bought this from him. This is the mini. Not mini. This is a 3.5-inch blade, I think it is. He did make a mini, which is a 3.25. There's only a few of the 3.25s out there. So, yeah, that's an honored one in my collection as well, which goes along with this guy from Tristan, the King Battle. This is one I lusted after for many years. I've had it in the pocket now since I bought it and got it right before Christmas of 2023. So it's been about 150 something days that I've carried the same knife, which is a record for me. Might be a record for some of you as well. Okay. Carbon fiber one, old school one. Now this one is not technically called a battle. I think this is the Fighter Flipper. Again, very old school. Tip down pocket clip. The detent kind of sucks. Like, kind of sucks. I mean, it really sucks. And I believe TJ worked on this once before, and that's as good as it got. I'm not really worried about it. Again, for me, it's more of just a historical piece of here's kind of the progression that Frank had during his builds, right? So I'm good with it the way it is. And then fast forward to the prototype from Todd Sr. He's making battles now because currently Frank can't. We're just going to leave it at that. And this one went up for an auction and I mistakenly won the auction. Tried to bid it just to see if I could get a little more action in that last, 5 or 6 hours. And there was no more action. And lo and behold, I won. And here we go. I love it. I think that the ones that Senior made after this, because I've handled 1 or 2 of them, are better. Again, it's a prototype. It's not going to be perfect. And that's okay. And that's what I love about it. I do enjoy my prototypes. So, yeah, pretty cool. But the moral of the story is it's about family. And I've got some other stuff. I've got a Frank Fischer Fury. I've got a TJ Fischer Cobra. And I've got an Archangel from Todd Sr. So I love the Fischer family. I love the battle lineup. I love the Archangel. I love all of it. And I love all of you guys and all of my friends that I have made through this particular model. I got Anthony, Tim, Kyle, Eric, George, just to name a few of my close friends that we're actually trading back and forth in the Fischer lineup. And it's kind of crazy, but family is what it's all about. That's why I made this channel, was really just to show off my collection to my friends. And it's turned into having made a ton of friends around the world. Tim is up in Canada. Professor EDC is down in Mexico. Aussie Mike is in Australia. And Nick, Big Nick, is in New Zealand. So I have created some really strong friendships just through this channel, and I'm honored by that. And I'm honored to have as nice of a collection as I have right now. I'm not sure where I want to go. I don't have necessarily a grail at this point. There are a couple of knives that I like, that I would like to own in my collection at some point in the future, but I don't know that I consider them grails. I think the battle was my true grail and still kind of is the grail that I've obtained. I don't know where you go from there. I think the term grail is overused. I've talked about that before. I'm sure I'll talk about it again. But the moral of the story is, Anthony, you're getting a fantastic freaking knife. And if you get bored of it, I will absolutely 100% pick it up from you, because it's a good deal and it's an awesome knife. So thanks a lot, everyone. I greatly appreciate your time. If you've made it this far, just comment family down below. I would really appreciate it. And you have yourselves a fantastic day.